Lisa Martinez stood in the engine room of the UFS Liberty, sweat dripping down her face as she stared at the computer screen. The message had come through 10 minutes ago and she had read it 5 times already. Each time it made her more angry. The screen showed an order from the Galactic Council. All human ships must shut down their engines immediately. They said it was for inspection, but Lisa knew better. She had been working on starship engines for 12 years, and she could smell a trap from a mile away. The engine room was hot and loud. The massive power core hummed behind her, keeping the Liberty running. Pipes and cables ran along the walls like metal veins. This was her world, the place where she felt most at home. But today, it might become her prison. Captain John Parker walked into the engine room. His boots made heavy sounds on the metal floor. He was a good man, Lisa knew that. But he was also a man who followed orders, even when those orders were stupid. "Martinez," he said, his voice tired. "You saw the message?" "Yes, sir, I saw it." Lisa did not turn around. She kept looking at her screens, at the numbers that told her everything about the Liberty's engines. "Then you know what we have to do." "Know what they want us to do." Lisa finally turned to face her captain. "But I also know what will happen if we do it." Parker frowned. "Explain." Lisa pointed to another screen. It showed readings from outside the ship. "Those alien ships out there, they are not just scanning us, they are putting out some kind of energy field. If we shut down our engines while that field is active, it will damage our faster-than-light drive." "Are you sure?" "Captain, I have been studying alien technology since we joined the Galactic Alliance. I know what their equipment can do." Lisa's voice got harder. "This is not an inspection, this is sabotage." Parker was quiet for a moment. He looked at the screens, but Lisa knew he could not read them the way she could. He was a good captain, but he was not an engineer. "Even if you are..." "Right," he said finally. "We have our orders." Admiral Hayes was very clear. Shut down the engines in 30 minutes. Lisa felt her heart start to beat faster. She had known this moment would come someday. Ever since humans had joined the Galactic Alliance 20 years ago, she had watched the alien races treat them like children. Humans got the dangerous jobs, the hard jobs, the jobs that other species did not want. They said humans were too aggressive, too primitive. They said humans needed to be watched, controlled, kept in line. And now they wanted to take away the one thing that made humans equal in space: their ships. "Sir," Lisa said, "I cannot do it." Parker's eyes went wide. "That is a direct order, Lieutenant Commander." "I know what it is." Lisa turned back to her screens. Her hands moved over the controls, but not to shut down the engines. Instead, she started a program she had been working on in secret for months. "Martinez, if you do not follow orders, I will have you arrested for mutiny." Lisa's fingers stopped moving. She looked at Parker and she saw that he meant it. He was a good man, but he was also a man who would follow orders even if those orders killed them all. "Captain," she said quietly, "look at screen 7. Parker looked. The screen showed the energy readings from the alien ships. Lisa had enhanced. The display made it easier to understand. "See that pattern?" Lisa pointed to a series of spikes on the screen. "That is not scanning energy. That is a weapon charge cycle. They are getting ready to fire something at us." Parker stared at the screen. Lisa could see him thinking, trying to understand what he was looking at. What kind of weapon? The kind that makes our engines stop working forever. Lisa turned back to her controls. The kind that leaves us floating in space, helpless. The ship shook slightly. Outside, the alien fleet was moving closer. Lisa could see them on her screens. Dozens of ships from different alien races all working together to trap the humans. "Sir, I have an idea." Lisa's hands moved faster over the controls. "But you are not going to like it. Tell me." "I have been modifying our engines, making them stronger, more efficient. The aliens think human technology is primitive because we use brute force instead of their fancy methods." Lisa smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "I say we show them what human brute force can really do." Parker grabbed her arm. "Martinez, You cannot modify military equipment without authorization. That is against regulations. So is letting aliens destroy our ships. Lisa pulled her arm free. Captain, in about 20 minutes they are going to hit us with that energy weapon. If our engines are running, we might survive. If they are shut down, we are dead. The ship shook again, harder this time. Alarms started to sound throughout. The Liberty. Red lights flashed on the walls. Captain, to the bridge, came a voice over the speakers. We have multiple alien ships moving to intercept. Parker looked at Lisa, then at the screens showing the alien fleet. She could see him making a choice, the same choice she had made minutes ago. Do it, he said. Lisa's hands flew over the controls. The program she had been secretly working on came to life. The Liberty's engines began to change to become something they had never been before. The power core behind them started to sing, a deep humming sound that grew louder and louder. The numbers on Lisa's screens climbed higher than they had ever gone before. This is insane, Parker said, watching the power readings. This is human, Lisa replied. The alien energy weapon fired. Lisa felt it hit the ship like a giant hand trying to crush them. But instead of shutting down their engines, something amazing happened. The Liberty absorbed the energy. The alien weapon's power flowed into the ship's systems, making them stronger instead of weaker. Lisa's modifications had turned their attack into fuel for the human ship. Impossible, came a voice over the radio. It was one of the alien commanders. Human vessel, your engines should be disabled. Lisa reached for the communication controls. Her message would go out to every ship in the system, human and alien alike. This is Lieutenant Commander Lisa Martinez of the UFS Liberty, she said, her voice calm and clear. We refuse to shut down our engines. We refuse to be helpless. And we refuse to obey orders that would get us killed. The Liberty shot forward through space, faster than any human ship had ever moved before. Behind them, the alien fleet scrambled to follow, but they were already too late. Lisa Martinez had made her choice. She had disobeyed orders, broken regulations, and probably ended her career. But she had also saved her ship and her crew. She did not know it yet, but she had also started a revolution. The Liberty flew through space like a bullet from a gun. Lisa Martinez held onto her control panel as the ship shook and vibrated around her. The engines were working harder than they ever had before, pushing the ship faster than any human vessel had ever gone. Captain Parker stood behind her, watching the screens with wide eyes. The numbers showing their speed kept climbing higher and higher. Martinez, what did you do to my ship? I made it better, sir. Lisa's hands moved quickly over the controls, adjusting power flows and keeping the engines stable. The aliens think, we are primitive because we build things simple and strong. They use fancy technology that breaks easily. We use brute force that keeps working. Commander Rick Johnson's voice came over the radio from the bridge. Engine room, we have 12 alien ships chasing us. They are gaining speed. Lisa looked at her screens. The alien ships were fast, but they were also predictable. They followed the same flight patterns, used the same tactics. Lisa had studied alien technology for years, and she knew their weakness. Captain, she said, tell Johnson to fly directly at the nearest alien ship. That is suicide, Martinez. No, sir. That is physics. Lisa pointed to one of her screens. Watch what happens when they try to use their energy weapons on us again. Parker spoke into his radio. Bridge, this is the captain. Fly directly at the lead alien ship. Sir, are you sure about that? Do it. The Liberty turned and shot toward the largest alien vessel. It was a Zarathi warship, 3 times bigger than the human ship and covered with weapons. Lisa could see it on her screen, growing larger as they flew closer. The alien ship fired its energy weapons. Bright beams of light shot through space toward the Liberty. Lisa watched her screens and smiled. The alien weapons hit the Liberty's shields, but instead of damaging the ship, something wonderful happened. The Liberty's engines absorbed the energy from the weapons. The power flowed into Lisa's modified systems, making the human ship even faster and stronger. The aliens were feeding power to their enemy without knowing it. How is that possible? Parker asked. I changed how our engines work, Lisa explained. Normal human engines just burn fuel, but I made ours eat energy from any source. The more they shoot at us, the stronger we get. The Liberty flew past the alien warship so fast that the bigger ship could not turn to follow. Lisa felt the ship shake as they passed through the alien vessel's energy field, but her engines just absorbed that power too. "All ships, attack the human vessel," came a voice over the radio. It was the alien fleet commander, and he sounded angry. "It cannot escape all of us." But Lisa had other ideas. She had been planning for this moment for months, ever since she realized that humans might need to fight for their independence someday. "Captain, tell Johnson to broadcast my engine modifications on all frequencies," she said. "What? Why?" "Because there are other human ships out there and they need to know how to defend themselves." Parker hesitated. Broadcasting military secrets was against regulations. But then he looked at the screens showing the alien fleet trying to destroy them, and he made his choice. "Bridge broadcast Martinez's modifications on all frequencies. Make sure every human ship in space gets the message." Lisa's technical data went out across the galaxy. Every human ship, from military vessels to cargo haulers to mining ships, received the information about how to modify their engines. How to turn alien attacks into power for human ships. The first ship to use Lisa's modifications was the cargo vessel, New Boston, commanded by Captain Kate Sullivan. The New Boston was trapped near a space station by 3 Zephyrian ships that were demanding tribute payments. Kate Sullivan had been a cargo pilot for 15 years. She had watched aliens push humans around, demand payments, and treat human ships like they were nothing. When she received Lisa's broadcast, she knew what she had to do. "This is Captain Sullivan of the New Boston," she said over the radio. I'm modifying my engines using the Martinez specifications. Any ship that tries to stop me will regret it." The Zephyrian ships laughed. A cargo hauler was no threat to military vessels, but when they fired their weapons at the New Boston, Kate's newly modified engines absorbed the energy and shot the cargo ship forward at impossible speed. The New Boston broke through the alien blockade and escaped to safety. On the mining station, Olympus Chief Engineer Danny Brooks was listening to the radio chatter. The station was surrounded by hegemony tax collectors who wanted to take half of everything the human miners had worked for. Danny was a quiet man who preferred working with machines to talking with people. But when he heard Lisa's broadcast, he realized he could turn the mining station's power systems into weapons. He modified the station's engines using Lisa's plans. Then he turned the mining lasers into defensive weapons. When the hegemony ships tried to dock with the station, Danny fired the lasers at them. The alien ship's shields absorbed the energy. But then Danny used Lisa's technique to steal that energy back and make his own system stronger. The hegemony fleet retreated, confused and defeated by a mining station that should have been helpless. All across human space, ships and stations were using Lisa's modifications. Every human who had been pushed around by aliens suddenly had a way to fight back. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Back on the Liberty, Lisa watched her screens as reports came in from dozens of human ships. They were all using her modifications to escape alien control, to fight back against oppression. "Martinez," Captain Parker said, "do you realize what you have started?" "I started a fight, sir. A fight that was coming whether we wanted it or not." Lisa's hands moved over her controls, keeping the Liberty ahead of its pursuers. "The aliens wanted to keep us weak and obedient. But humans do not stay weak for long." The radio crackled with an incoming message. It was from the Galactic Council, and the voice sounded very angry. "Attention, human ships. You are all in violation of galactic law. Surrender immediately or face the consequences." Lisa reached for the radio controls. Her response would be heard by every ship in the sector, human and alien alike. "This is Lieutenant Commander Lisa Martinez. We are humans, not slaves. We will not surrender our ships, our freedom, or our dignity. If you want to fight us, then bring your best ships and your best weapons. You are going to need them." The Liberty disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind a galaxy that would never be the same. Lisa Martinez had become the leader of something she never intended to start, a human rebellion that would change everything. 3 months had passed since Lisa Martinez first refused to obey the alien orders. The galaxy had changed in ways that no one could have predicted. Human ships were no longer easy targets for alien bullies. They fought back, they escaped, and they won. Lisa stood in the Liberty's engine room, looking at reports from across human space. Every day brought news of more victories. Human cargo ships were breaking through alien blockades. Mining stations were driving off tax collectors. Even small exploration vessels were standing up to alien warships. But the aliens were not giving up. The Galactic Council had declared all humans to be criminals and terrorists. They put the biggest bounty in galactic history on Lisa's head. Every alien bounty hunter, every mercenary, every military force was looking for the Liberty. Captain Parker walked into the engine room holding a message pad. His face looked tired and worried. "Martinez, we have a problem." "What now, sir?" "The Council has authorized something called corrective action against all human settlements." Parker showed her the message. "They are going to attack Earth." Lisa felt her heart sink. Earth was home to 12 billion people. Most of them had no way to defend themselves against alien warships. The planet had some defense ships, but not enough to stop a full alien fleet. "How long do we have?" she asked. 6 months, maybe less. They are gathering ships from every member species of the Council." Parker sat down on a toolbox, looking older than his 50 years. "Lisa, I think we started something we cannot finish." "No, sir, we started something we have to finish." Lisa turned to her computers and began typing. "Send a message to every human ship in space. Tell them to meet us at the Centauri system in 2 weeks." "What are you planning?" "I am planning to save our people." Lisa's fingers moved quickly over the keyboard. "The aliens think they can scare us into giving up. They think if they threaten Earth we will surrender, but they do not understand humans." The message went out across the galaxy. It was simple and direct. Lisa Martinez was calling for all free humans to gather at Centauri. She did not order them to come. She did not threaten them if they stayed away. She just asked them to choose. The response surprised everyone. Ships came from every corner of human space. Cargo haulers, mining vessels, exploration ships, and even some military vessels whose captains had decided to join the rebellion. Captain Kate Sullivan brought the new Boston. She had painted the words "Free Human" on the side of her cargo ship in bright red letters. Chief Engineer Danny Brooks came with 3 mining ships from the Olympus station. Even Dr. Amy Foster arrived in a medical ship, saying that free humans would need doctors. The fleet that gathered at Centauri was not impressive to look at. Most of the ships were old, patched up, and built for work instead of fighting. But every ship had Lisa's engine modifications. Every ship could absorb energy from alien weapons and turn it into power. Lisa stood on the Liberty's bridge, looking at the collection of human vessels on the main screen. There were 47 ships in total. It was not a big fleet, but it was a free fleet. "This is insane," said Commander Johnson. "We are cargo haulers and miners trying to fight the entire Galactic Council." "No," Lisa replied. "We are humans trying to stay free." The alien response came faster than expected. A Council enforcement fleet arrived at Centauri only 3 days after the human ships had gathered. It was led by Admiral Koreth, a Zerathi, military commander known for destroying rebel movements across the galaxy. "Human vessels," Koreth's voice came over the radio. "You are surrounded. Surrender now and you will be treated according to galactic law." Lisa took the radio from Captain Parker. Her response would be heard by both fleets and broadcast across the galaxy. "Admiral Koreth, this is Lisa Martinez. We are not rebels or terrorists. We are free humans defending our right to exist. If you want our ships, come and take them." The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The alien fleet had over 200 ships, including massive battleships and carriers. They had weapons that could destroy planets and shields that could stop any normal attack. But the human fleet did not fight like a normal fleet. Lisa had spent months thinking about alien tactics, studying their weaknesses. She knew that alien commanders expected their enemies to fight in predictable ways. The humans did not fight predictably. Cargo ships rammed battleships. Mining vessels used their industrial lasers as weapons. Medical ships rescued crews from damaged human vessels and kept fighting. Most importantly, every human ship absorbed energy from alien weapons. The more the aliens shot at them, the stronger the humans became. It was like trying to put out a fire by throwing gasoline on it. Captain Sullivan's cargo ship New Boston absorbed fire from 3 alien cruisers and used that energy to ram through an alien battle line. Danny Brooks modified his mining ships to work together, creating energy chains that could drain power from entire alien squadrons. Lisa coordinated the battle from the Liberty, sending her ship where the fighting was hardest. Her engines had been improved even more during the past 3 months. The Liberty could absorb energy faster than any other human ship and use it to move in ways that seemed impossible. "How are they doing this?" Admiral Korath demanded over the radio. "Our weapons should be destroying them." "Because you do not understand humans," Lisa replied. "We do not give up, we do not surrender, and we learn from every fight." The alien fleet began to retreat. They had lost over 60 ships and had not destroyed a single human vessel. It was the first time in galactic history that a Council enforcement fleet had been defeated by inferior numbers. But Lisa knew the victory would not last. The aliens would return with bigger fleets and better weapons. They would keep coming until humans were enslaved or extinct. "Captain," she said to Parker, "send a message to every human settlement in the galaxy. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that humans can fight back and win." The message spread like wildfire. On Earth, in the colonies, on mining stations and trading posts, humans heard about the victory at Centauri. They heard about Lisa Martinez and her fleet of free ships. Some humans were scared. They worried that the aliens would punish everyone for the actions of a few rebels. But others were inspired. They began to modify their own ships using Lisa's plans. They started to organize their own defense forces. The galaxy was changing. The species that had ruled space for thousands of years were learning that humans would not be ruled. Lisa Martinez had become more than a rebel or a terrorist. She had become a symbol of human independence. The real war was just beginning. 2 years had passed since Lisa Martinez first refused to shut down her engines. Now she stood on the bridge of the Liberty, looking at the biggest fleet she had ever seen. 300 human ships floated in space near the edge of the solar system, waiting for the battle that would decide humanity's future. Earth hung in the distance like a blue jewel. Lisa could see the planet where she had been born, where her parents still lived, where 12 billion humans went about their daily lives not knowing that their fate would be decided in the next few hours. The alien armada was even bigger than the human fleet. Over 800 ships from dozens of different species had come to end the human rebellion once and for all. The Galactic Council had decided that humans were too dangerous to be allowed freedom. Captain Parker stood next to Lisa, his hair now gray from 2 years of running and fighting. "Are you ready for this?" "I have been ready since the day I refused to obey their first order," Lisa replied. "The question is whether we can win." The human fleet was not the same collection of cargo ships and miners that had gathered at Centauri. Lisa's modifications had spread to every human vessel in space. Each ship had been improved, strengthened, and armed with weapons that the aliens had never seen before. Admiral Beth Cooper floated her ship near the Liberty. She had been Lisa's roommate at the Academy years ago, back when humans still believed they could find their place in the galaxy by following alien rules. Now she commanded half the Earth Defense Fleet, ships that should have been protecting the planet by surrendering to alien demands. "I never thought I would be a rebel," Cooper said over the radio. "But I would rather follow you into hell than bow to aliens who see us as slaves." Lisa smiled. Beth had always been the rule follower, the perfect officer who never questioned orders. But even she had reached the point where following orders meant betraying everything she believed in. "All ships, this is Martinez," Lisa broadcast to the human fleet. "Today we fight not just for our freedom, but for our right to exist as equals in this galaxy. The aliens think they can frighten us into surrender by threatening our home. They are about to learn that threatening Earth was the worst mistake they ever made." The alien fleet began to move. Lisa watched them on her screens, studying their formation and tactics. She had spent 2 years learning how different alien species fought, and she had developed strategies for each of them. The Zarathi ships moved in tight formations, relying on heavy shields and massive weapons. The Zephyrians preferred quick strikes and energy weapons. The Hegemony used swarm tactics with lots of small ships, but they all had the same weakness. They expected their enemies to fight the way they did. All human ships begin random movement. Patterns, Lisa ordered. Do not let them predict where you will be. The human fleet scattered across space like leaves in the wind. Each ship moved independently, following no pattern that alien computers could calculate. It looked like chaos, but Lisa knew it was controlled chaos. The aliens fired first. Thousands of energy beams and missiles filled the space between the two fleets. Most alien commanders expected the attack to destroy at least 50 human ships. Instead, something impossible happened. The human ships absorbed the energy from the alien weapons and used it to move even faster. The missiles were confused by the random movement patterns and missed their targets. The energy beams just made the human ships stronger. Impossible, came Admiral Korath's voice over the radio. He was leading the alien fleet, still angry about his defeat at Centauri. How are they still alive? Lisa's response was broadcast to both fleets and to every planet in the solar system. Because we are human, we adapt, we overcome, and we never give up. The Liberty shot forward through the alien fleet like an arrow through paper. Lisa's ship had been improved far beyond its original design. It could absorb energy faster than any other vessel, and use that energy in ways that rewrote the laws of physics. Behind her, the rest of the human fleet followed. Captain Sullivan's New Boston rammed through an alien battle line, her cargo holds, now filled with weapons instead of goods. Danny Brooks led his mining ships in a coordinated attack that drained power from an entire alien squadron. But the real surprise came when the Earth Defense Fleet joined the battle. These were military, ships with proper weapons and trained crews. Admiral Cooper had been waiting for this moment, the chance to show the aliens what human military vessels could do when they fought for freedom instead of following orders. The battle became a storm of light and energy. Alien ships that had ruled the galaxy for centuries found themselves outfought by human vessels that should have been no match for them. Every time the aliens adapted to human tactics, the humans changed their strategy. Lisa flew the Liberty through the heart of the alien fleet, her ship absorbing massive amounts of energy and growing stronger with each attack. She was looking for one specific target, Admiral Korath's flagship. The Zarathi admiral had made this personal when he threatened to destroy Earth. Lisa intended to make him pay for that threat. She found Korath's massive battleship at the center of the alien formation. It was 3 times bigger than the Liberty and covered with enough weapons to destroy a small moon. But size meant nothing when those weapons only made your enemy stronger. Korath, Lisa said over the radio, you wanted to inspect human ships. Here is your chance. The Liberty flew directly at the alien flagship. Korath's ship fired everything it had, pouring energy into the small human vessel. But instead of destroying the Liberty, the energy made it faster and more powerful. Lisa rammed her ship into the alien flagship. The Liberty's hull had been modified to absorb and redirect energy on contact. The collision drained power from Korath's ship and transferred it to the Liberty. The alien flagship went dark, floating helplessly in space. Around it, the rest of the alien fleet was in full retreat. They had lost over 300 ships and had barely damaged the human fleet. This is Admiral Korath to all Council forces, came a weak voice over the radio. Retreat. Immediate retreat. The humans cannot be defeated by conventional means. The alien armada fled the solar system, leaving behind the wreckage of their ships and their pride. For the first time in galactic history, a major Council fleet had been completely defeated. Lisa stood on the Liberty's bridge, looking at Earth in the distance. The planet was safe, humanity was free, but more than that, humans had proven they deserved their place among the stars as equals, not servants. Martinez, Captain Parker said, "What happens now?" "Now we build," Lisa replied. "We build a future where humans are free to explore, to grow, and to become whatever we choose to be." The war was over, but Lisa Martinez's legend was just beginning. She had refused to obey a single order and changed the fate of an entire species. In a galaxy full of races that had forgotten how to fight for their freedom, humanity remembered. And it all started with one stubborn engineer who refused to shut down her engines.